Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and vast fields of green, there lived a young boy named Arvind. His family, like many others in the village, struggled to make ends meet. They lived in a modest mud hut on the edge of the village, surrounded by fields that his father tended to, growing just enough crops to feed them. Arvind was different from the other children in the village. While most played in the fields or helped with the livestock, Arvind had big dreams. He loved to read, though books were a luxury his family could never afford. Instead, he read whatever he could get his hands on, old newspapers, discarded books, and even the backs of grain sacks that had been left outside to dry in the sun. Despite the harshness of his life, Arvind was determined to learn. His mother, an uneducated woman who had spent her life raising children and tending to the household, would always tell him, "Arvind, knowledge is the greatest gift. It will take you places that hard work alone cannot." These words became his guiding light. At the age of 10, Arvind started walking several kilometers every day to attend a small government school. The school was basic, with cracked walls and a roof that leaked when it rained. There were no proper desks or chairs. Most of the other children wore torn clothes and often missed classes to help their families. But Arvind never complained. His heart was set on education. Every morning, despite the cold and early morning fog, Arvind would wake up at the crack of dawn, help his father with a few chores, and then set off to school with a sense of purpose. One day, as Arvind sat on the dusty floor of the school, listening intently to the teacher, a man from the city arrived in the village. He was a government officer, sent to inspect the condition of rural education. His name was Mr. Sharma. He noticed Arvind sitting in the front row, his eyes sparkling with a thirst for knowledge, even though his clothes were tattered and his shoes barely held together. After the class, Mr. Sharma walked up to Arvind. "You are very attentive in class," he said, noticing the boy's bright eyes. "What is your dream, young man?" Arvind hesitated for a moment, then looked up at Mr. Sharma with a serious expression. "I want to study. I want to be a doctor. I want to help my people." Mr. Sharma smiled, impressed by the boy's determination. "That is a noble dream. You are not like the others. Keep working hard, and one day, you will see that dreams come true." For Arvind, those words were like a seed planted in his heart. He knew that no matter how difficult the road ahead seemed, he had to stay focused on his goal. But things weren't easy. Arvind's family faced several hardships. One winter, a sudden frost killed their crops, and his father became sick. With no money for medicine, his father's condition worsened. Arvind had to take on even more responsibility, helping his mother care for the household and his father. It was a tough year, but Arvind never let his dreams slip away. In the evenings, after finishing his chores, he would light a small lamp and study for hours, his eyes straining in the dim light. One fateful day, when Arvind was 14, Mr. Sharma returned to the village. This time, he was bringing with him good news. He had arranged for a scholarship for Arvind to attend a well-known school in the city. "Arvind," Mr. Sharma said, "your hard work has not gone unnoticed. You have been selected for a scholarship that will allow you to study at a prestigious school. You will be able to pursue your dream of becoming a doctor." Tears welled up in Arvind's eyes. It felt like the entire world had opened up to him. But at the same time, he felt a deep sense of guilt. How could he leave his family behind, especially when they needed him so much? His mother, understanding his internal struggle, gently placed her hand on his shoulder. "Go, Arvind. This is your chance. You can make a difference, not just for yourself, but for all of us. We will manage. You must go and make us proud." With a heavy heart, Arvind said goodbye to his family and set off for the city. The journey was long, and the city was a completely different world. The streets were bustling with people, cars, and tall buildings. Arvind felt small in this vast, unfamiliar place. But he kept his eyes on the prize. The first few months in the city were overwhelming. Arvind struggled with the fast pace, the unfamiliar language, and the crowded classrooms. But he was no stranger to hardship. He pushed through, determined to succeed. His classmates, many of whom came from wealthy families, often made fun of his worn-out clothes and the way he spoke. But Arvind ignored their taunts. He knew that their opinions didn't matter. Years passed, and Arvind's hard work paid off. He finished his schooling at the top of his class, earning a spot at a renowned medical university. There, he excelled even further, securing top honors and completing his degree in medicine. Arvind's journey from the dusty village to the hallowed halls of medicine was not an easy one, but it had been a journey of resilience, hope, and determination. As a young doctor, he returned to his village, not as a poor boy with big dreams, but as someone who had made his dreams come true. He built a small clinic in the village, offering free medical services to those who couldn't afford care. His clinic became a beacon of hope for the villagers, and Arvind became a symbol of what was possible with hard work, perseverance, and a belief in oneself. And so, Arvind's journey, from the grass of poverty to the grace of success, was not just his own. It was a journey that inspired everyone who knew him. It proved that no matter where you come from, with determination and the will to dream, you can rise above the hardships and make a difference in the world.